Hey, it's me, and what am I doing right now? Well, I just came back home. It's actually pretty late. It is 8:50 in the evening. I left at 8. Just realizing this. I left at 8:30 this morning, or rather, I didn't leave at 8:30. I left. I think I left home, my dorm, at 8:08 this morning. I got to class early, sat, did a bunch of things that relate to my going to the other city. I'm going to visit Tomsk this Saturday. I'm gonna stop saying like right now. I'm going to visit Tomsk this Saturday, and if you are an international student in Russia, I don't know about other places because I've never been a student in other places, however, Russia, you need to take your ticket and your registration paper to the international department so that they know when you're leaving and when you're returning. Also, when you're leaving. And that's why you're giving them the ticket, and you give them the copy of the registration form so that they can give you the original, so that when you go to the train station or wherever you're going, that you can show them the registration form so they know that you're not in Russia simply being idle. When you go to the port of entrance or exit, you will have your passport, you will have your migration card, which they gave you upon your arrival, immigration card. It's actually just a paper, slip. Let me say immigration slip. That's exactly what it is. It is a slip of paper. It's smaller than 5 by 7. It's a tiny slip of paper. Anyway, so you have your passport, you have your immigration slip, and you have the registration form, which is pretty small, but it says, so what those things say, you have a visa to be in Russia. They have said, yeah, we see that you're entering Russia. You have a right to be here. That's the immigration slip. And the registration form says you're not being idle. Anyway, so this morning when I went early, I went to the immigration office and I spoke with them. I actually thought I would have to speak Russian with them. I was like, I'm gonna do this, but I didn't have to. Like yesterday when I went to check what I need, everything that I needed to give to them, I thought I would have to speak Russian, and I walked in and I'm like, Здравствуйте. And the lady, they all say their greeting back to me because I'm not going to say it again. And then the one who's closest to me, she began speaking to me in English. I'm like, oh, speaking English. I literally say this, like, which is really ridiculous. Anyway, so I didn't have to speak Russian, which was really good for me, and simultaneously really bad for me. However, I've been speaking to more Russians lately because I guess my anxiety is decreasing a little less about that. Of course, it has to be. I am going to another city on my own on a train. I've never been on a train. I told you that already, but I've never been on a train. Yeah. Anyway, so then after that, I then went over to another office and I did a little chit chat there. So I did a bunch of stuff, and then my class began at 8:30 and it ran until 11:45. And then my other class, math, we did math in Russian, began at 12 and finished at 1:30. And my other class, history, also in Russian, began at 1:50. 1:50? 1:50, 1:45 thereabout, and finished at, well, what time did that finish? I think it finished at 3:45 or 4 thereabout. And then these classes are all at my university. I'm gonna backtrack here a little bit. The Russian course that is done for the year, or the courses that are done for a year, you begin doing those like as soon as you get here, as quickly as possible. most likely if you arrive late, they'll give you maybe, let's say, 4 days or 3 or 4 days to warm up, to get into the vibe of the place, and then you begin your classes. However, in the, I think it's in the third semester, they, I think it's the third. We weren't doing this in January, but I don't think we've gone to the third. So let's say late in the second semester, they begin these preparatory courses. So they offer math, information technology, I think it is. I don't take that, of course. Physics, law, history, linguistics. Yeah, I think those are all the preparatory courses which are being offered, and you can choose which one you want to take. Oh, they also offer a course which I can't remember the name. It's called I will write the name below here, below there, wherever, somewhere on the screen. But it deals with how to write for your courses and other things. So for instance, the last class, what we dealt with was abbreviations. Really useful, by the way. Abbreviations in relation to formal writing and informal writing. Really interesting, by the way. Anyway, that's not the point. So, I'm doing my regular Russian courses, and I'm doing the preparatory Russian courses. I'm doing the preparatory Russian courses for various reasons. I'm doing math. I don't know if I'll actually need math, but I think it's a general rule that they must taught you with some sort of numbers in your general studies. So I'm doing it so that I can be ready. You know, you do a pre-torture so that you can get into the real torture and not feel so tortured. That's why I'm doing math. I'm doing history because I think it would be really good for me to get an understanding of Russians, or rather what I should say is, by knowing someone's history, you get to understand who they are. And so that's why I'm doing that. And linguistics, well, I've always been interested in languages, so that's a given. And the one which I can't call, I know it begins with an N, it has an A, a U, Nauchnilny still, or something like that, whatever, doesn't matter. That one, I already described it to you, and you get the point that it's important for anyone who's going to be in university. However, the general reason why I'm doing all of these is so that I can expose myself to more Russian. Not because I am in Russia, however, because I actually don't like to speak with people face to face. I have a really big problem. I think if I were anyone else with as much opportunities as I have to learn Russian, that I would speak it really, really well at this point. However, I don't, because just like in English, when I am speaking or communicating with a person, I'm always thinking a lot of negative things, and it's difficult to turn that off. However, if I'm in a class where someone is just speaking at me, they're speaking information to me, it's much easier. And I think for the time that I've been enrolled in these classes, I enrolled in them all late. So, yeah, so for the time that I've been enrolled in these classes, I feel as though I've gotten a lot better. Also, I think my classes before were getting less challenging because I am in par at a comfortable level in my class where I don't feel very pushed. I feel pushed to the same level as I think the others feel pushed. However, I also think that I work a lot better when I'm being pushed, when there's like a person with a "I'm gonna kill you" behind of me. So I picked up these preparatory courses so that I could feel that pressure, and I am. So for today we got this paper. If you see, it has a lot of red marks in it, and that was today's work. And then this one, no red marks because I didn't do my homework. Just for feeling pressured. Those are both for history. And then there's this one from my class yesterday. And I have to look through the rest of that. And there's this one from my class yesterday. Oh, this is the one I can't call, but the name's not on the paper, of course. Yeah. So I've got to look through those, and of course there's then linguistics, and our homework for linguistics is actually to memorize a section of passage. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to locate it right now. Also history. You get the gist. This is less than, I think this is less than, but yeah, this is less than what, well, this is about 1 week of work for these things. If I can find my paper for you, I will, and I think I just found it. Yes, I did. Okay, so this, I have no idea what you can see. This section here is what I have to memorize for tomorrow, or should. I actually think I don't have any classes tomorrow because I think some students are coming from America and they're going to be having a conference. However, if I didn't, I would have to be memorizing this for tomorrow. You know, that's a lot of work, and so it's a lot of work. But in addition to that, I also at 6 o'clock today had another class because I didn't think that my university classes were cutting it, as in they weren't making me feel enough pressure. Homework not done, you get the gist. Not enough pressure. And so I added or rather before, well, it's kind of complicated, but anyway, I added an extra class that's not at my university, which is basically free. And those help me a lot too because I get a lot more speaking time because my classes are basically one-on-one. Sometimes other people come, but the number at this point hasn't exceeded 5 people being in a room, 5 other students being in a room, and the instructors are more laid back and that really helps me to try and speak in Russian and ask lots of questions, you know. So at my university, I wouldn't say to my instructors, oh, I don't understand this in the class. If I don't understand something in my extra classes, I speak up automatically. So my extra classes began at 6 today, and it ended at 9. No, it ended at 7. 1900 hours. It ended at 7. And the time it took me to get from there to home was a bit. We are in rush hour period. Whenever it's rush hour, it takes you like double, close to almost triple the time to get home. So yeah, that's why it took me forever to get home. Simple. Okay, so since I mentioned this text, I think I should simply read it for you so we can both have an idea of what it says. Actually, I do. I know the essence of what it says. You know, the essence of it. That's all you really need from anything, the essence of it. Or rather, I should do this a little later and you guys can... Yeah. So, I'm really happy to see you. I'm really happy to have you here with me, and I hope you come back. I know this was really long. And yes, I am really long-winded, but I hope to see you here again. I can say goodbye in a few languages, and I guess I can just do that now. 안녕하세요. That was hello. That was hello. But since we started with hello, let me just continue. Здравствуйте. Guten Tag, that's good day in German. 안녕하세요 is hi in Korean. Здравствуйте is hi in Russian. Hola, Spanish. Bonjour, French. Ni hao. That's not correct because the pronunciation is completely wrong. But it's Chinese, or it's supposed to be Chinese. And now for goodbye, which I will only say in... I will attempt Korean, though my Korean has gotten progressively worse as I continue to get progressively better in Russian. However, do bear with me. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. That was go in peace and stay in peace. Whether you're going to leave my page or you're going to go away from it and leave me here. That was Korean and до свидания. Встретим скоро. Я рада увидеть тебя.